Okay, so you've done the dreaded deed, you've dropped the entry form into the letterbox, point of no return. It's gone off to the race secretary, or you've done it online, you're committed to your first race event. So what's going to happen? About 10 days before the event, you'll get your final instructions pack sent to you through the post. That'll have your tickets for the event. Generally speaking, you get 3 tickets, one for you, nominally, one for your mechanic, one for your wife. In there you'll also get your final instructions, which will include your technical inspection card. On the technical inspection card on this side, you'll have your race number. You'll probably already know your race number if you're permanently registered with that club, but if you're a one event rider, that's where you'll find your race number. On this side of the card, it'll have your name, the circuit, the date. Okay, all of that information there. And on this side of the card, this is the bit that you need to fill out. Your transponder number, which you'll already have put on your race entry form, the frame number of your motorcycle, and the engine number of your motorcycle. It's very important that the engine and frame number on your motorcycle are not tampered or interfered with in any way. If they are, you can't use it. You can't use that in any ACU competition anywhere. If you haven't got an engine or a frame number on it, and it never had an engine or a frame number on it, as in it was factory blank, that's not an issue. You just write in there factory blank. The technical officials will check that it hasn't been polished out, that it is indeed a factory blank case or a factory blank frame, and they'll be aware of what they're looking at and they'll be able to sign the card for you. So that's the card that you take down to technical inspection with you, and the times for technical inspection will be listed in your final instructions. One further thing on the technical inspection card, on the back is the declaration that has to be signed on the day. And what you're signing for there is that you haven't had a head injury or concussion or anything else that might have affected your fitness to compete in the past 21 days. So you sign that in real time on the day of the event or on the evening before the event. Okay? So that's your technical inspection card. Your final instructions, they'll come in the same pack. They'll have all the details of the circuit on the front. This part of the final instructions, they all form a part of the regulations. So if there's anything that you need to know, it will be in this document. It will tell you where the assembly area is, what time technical inspection is, what time signing on is, and where all of those places can be found. It will also tell you what's going to happen after the checkered flag's shown, at what point you need to leave the track. If it's a circuit that's got garages, the garage allocation list will be on the back. Okay? If you're not on the garage allocation list on the back, that means that you've been allocated space elsewhere in the paddock, and you must not park immediately behind the garages, because that space is reserved for the people on the garage allocation list. In the middle, you'll find the timetable of events. Here we've got a timetable of events for Bank Holiday Sunday and Bank Holiday Monday. It will tell you when your session is going to be practicing, when it's going to be racing, what your race numbers are, and what the length of the races are. The other piece of information that will come in there is this little document, which is the rider's briefing notes, and that will tell you anything that is particular to that event. Anything that's unusual about that event will be contained in here. It'll have all the places where noise testing is going to be, where the noise test allocated area is. It will tell you again, end of race and practice session, where you leave the circuit. On the back it's got anything particular that might be about the circuit, like their curfew times for noise. It'll also have the numbers of the paddock supply people so that you can pre-order your tyres, and it also lets you know that there will be supply of those goods there. Lots of other stuff on there. Have a little read of it. As soon as you've done 2 or 3 events, you'll be familiar with most of the stuff that's in there, but some of the stuff that's in there is particular to each individual venue. Okay, so that's what will happen. So you know the times that you're going to be technical inspection. So when you get to the circuit, you need to make sure that you've set up in an approved place. You've got all your kit set up. You're not blocking a fire lane. You're not anywhere where you're going to be in the way of anybody else. And you'll probably find that the people next door to you give you a little bit of space as well. Get to know them, because they're the people that are going to be looking out for your kit when you're on track. You take your bike and yourself as in ready for racing, down to technical inspection at the appropriate time. Okay, so that means that you're wearing your leathers, you haven't got them over your arm, you've got your crash helmet with you, your boots, your gloves, your technical inspection card and your motorcycle. You go through the process of technical inspection. Once you've done that, and they've signed both places on the front of the card here, one for your machine and one for your clothing, and you've signed on the reverse, you then take this card and your ACU licence and you go across to see the girls in race admin, at which point you can sign on. We don't allow signing on the night before racing. You can only sign on the morning of racing. You can get all your technical inspection done the night before, but you can't sign on until the following morning. That's because we take the alcohol limit being 0 as a very serious thing indeed, and the girls in the morning just need to make sure that you're straight and not a hazard to anybody else. That's very, very important. The alcohol tolerance at all motorcycle race meetings is 0. That's for you and for me. It's not a problem if you have a beer the night before, but nobody wants to go away road racing and wake up in the morning with a thick head. That's not part of the enjoyment of going road racing. Okay, so the alcohol tolerance is 0 and signing on is always at the morning of the event. Second day of racing, you have to take your race licence into the race admin and get your practice pass again to do morning warm-up. And again, that's for all of the same reasons. Once you're signed on for the weekend, but we need to see you each morning. When you go in to see the girls, they'll exchange your technical inspection card for a practice pass. Similar size card to this, just with the practice details on it, and I think they're usually black nowadays with orange writing, because you may have noticed that everything here is black and orange. Okay, so you then take your practice pass at the appropriate time listed in the timetable down to the assembly area. The girls at the assembly area entry will take your practice pass off of you, allow you into the assembly area, and when it's time for your practice session, you'll be allowed out on circuit for your 15 minutes practice. And it's as simple as that. At any stage, at any event, if you're not sure about what to do, just ask. It doesn't have to be one of us, it can be any other competitor at the event. You will find that people at motorcycle racing events are ultra helpful, ultra friendly, and just want to see you have a good time. If at any time you're in any doubt about anything, just ask and the answer will be given. You will have a fantastic time racing your bike, I guarantee it.